Lee, thank you very much, really. And thank you, a very big thank you to Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. And as I was saying,
boy, does he love that chart. That's how President Trump started off his triumphant return to Butler, Pennsylvania, picking up right where he left off on J13, and the election momentum is clearly swinging his way. So much so, there's actually talk of a Reagan-like landslide in the making. We're going to see exactly what's happening. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe. But before we dive into the latest on the election, I need to warn you that your freedom is up for the taking. Even worse, those doing the taking are the same ones who've sworn to defend your freedom. They think they can violate your right to protect your own family. They think they can force their delusions on your children and your grandchildren. They think they can control the media and hide the truth from you. But here's the key. They can't take away what they've never given you. Self-reliance means peace of mind. That backstock of filtered water you've got, yours. A fully charged solar generator, ready. The emergency food on your shelf, safe, especially if that food is from My Patriot Supply. Having served millions of American families, My Patriot Supply is well equipped to help yours. Go to preparewithturley.com right now and stock up on their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. It delivers over 2,000 calories every day, sealed inside ultra-durable 4-layer packaging. It lasts up to 25 years. Oh, and did I mention it's delicious? Gang, go to preparewithturley.com and get your kit before it's too late. It ships fast and free. preparewithturley.com. It was an absolutely stunning turnout for President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania over the weekend. Tens of thousands of patriots came out to greet and support President Trump at the very spot where he came within millimeters of losing his life. Thank you, Lord. Elon Musk was there as well, of course, jumping up and down like a little kid. He was so excited to be there, but perhaps he was jumping up and down because he saw the latest polling data coming out. Now, did you see this? The latest Polymarket election projections have swung way, way, way over to Trump in the last few days. Now, remember, Polymarket is very volatile. It's the betting market polling, so it's extremely reactive. It's not predictive. But regardless, Trump has taken a huge lead in virtually every single swing state. He's leading by 12, freaking 12 in Pennsylvania. He's leading by nearly 30 in Arizona and Georgia. Again, these are the betting markets. They're not predictive. They're reactive. But it clearly shows that there's tremendous momentum swinging in Trump's favor of late. And we could see it in the early voting tallies coming out of the state of Virginia. Things are starting to get, frankly, dire for Harris in Virginia. The early voting throughout the state is very, very red. The deep blue counties that are all for Harris, they've only come out at about a plus 18 turnout, whereas the deep red Trumpy counties have seen a near 60% increase in their turnout from 2020. So that means as of today, basically 3 weeks since early voting started in Virginia, the Democrats have not as of yet made up that shortfall. We've been hearing the Democrats every single week. Oh, don't worry. This week we'll do it. This week our voters will come out to start overwhelming the Trumpy vote and all that. It had 3 weeks. It has not happened. Now, before we get our hopes up here, remember there's still significantly more Democrats in Virginia than Republicans. So Kamala is most likely going to win the state by 2, 3, 4 points. But given that Biden won it by 10 in 2020, this electorate looks a lot more like 2016 when Hillary pulled off a win in Virginia by just 5. In other words, if the margin is that small in Virginia, then you can be sure the same thing that happened with Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan in 2016 is happening now, since those 3 states always vote to the right Virginia. If Kamala's struggling in Virginia, if she's only getting single-digit margins in New Jersey and New York, you could be sure those struggles translate into fatalities in states like North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, because those states always vote to the right of Virginia. So that's why Virginia right now is such an important barometer for what's happening in the nation as a whole. For example, take a look at these numbers coming out of Nevada. Now, this is Seth Keshel's analysis of where we are right now. As you can see, voter registration for the GOP in Nevada has been through the roof. Democrats were at a +5 advantage in 2020. Now they're barely at a +1 advantage. So basically, if you apply the average of what Trump got in the last two elections to that voter registration shift, we're basically looking at Trump carrying Nevada by 3 points. Now, Seth also notes that Rich Barris's own polling, his big data polling, has Trump up in both Clark County and Washoe County. And if that's the case, if Trump is winning those two otherwise rather reliably blue counties, he could be winning Nevada by upwards of 6. It won't even be close. And we don't have to look far as to see why. Take a look at this USA Today Suffolk poll. When Latino men between the ages of 18 and 34 are asked who they're voting for president, look at this. In Arizona, young Latino men under the age of 34 are going to vote for Trump by 12. And in Nevada, they're going for Trump by +13. I mean, it's an absolutely stunning shift to the right among young Latino men. I mean, if these polls are accurate, Arizona and Nevada are gone for Harris. There's no way around it. Now, another indicator that Trump may be running away with it in the Sun Belt is some data we're getting out of the state of New Mexico. Now, of course, New Mexico is solid blue. Biden won it by 10 points in 2020, just like with Virginia. But again, just like with Virginia, look at this. We now have polling that shows that Trump is within 4 of Harris. Harris is only up 4 in a state that Biden won by 10. So again, if that's the case, then Trump is absolutely beyond the margin of error and the margin of fraud in Arizona. Arizona is gone as far as the Harris team is concerned. And again, most likely Nevada as well, given this massive shift to the right, or at least shift to Trump among young Latino voters, young Latino men. Now, this momentum that we're seeing build here on Trump's side has some like Dick Morris telling Newsmax that he is seeing a very possible Reagan-like landslide forming here. Now, I know we have to temper our expectations here. Morris said this before. Back in 2012, he predicted a Romney landslide. That never occurred, of course, but this is very different. Romney never, ever, ever had polling like this. He never dominated the election like this. He didn't have a coalition the way Trump has. So I think Morris's point should be taken with, a little bit more. I think he's more right here. Let's just put it that way. He's seeing a movement towards Trump that's very similar to what he saw in 1980, when all the polls showed a neck-and-neck race between Carter and Reagan, right up to about mid-October, right up to around this time. And that's when the polls began to break overwhelmingly for Reagan. And, of course, he went on to win 46 of 50 states in 1980. According to Morris, he's seeing a similar movement here towards Trump, where it's obviously been neck and neck, particularly in the swing states. But now it looks like things are breaking for Trump literally everywhere, even in deep, deep blue states. Again, this is absolutely huge. Nowhere is Kamala besting Biden. Nowhere. To my knowledge, there is not a single state poll or national poll that shows her in a better position than either Biden was or Hillary was at this time in the respective races. Again, that's something to keep in mind when analyzing the state of the race. Kamala is polling way down, both nationally and statewide. She is significantly down from where Biden or Hillary were at the same time in their respective races, while Trump is significantly up from where he was at this time in 2016 and 2020. So the momentum is clearly with Trump, and if he can continue to build on it, which he should be able to do, I mean, he's historically an excellent closer. His campaign climaxes with a massive wave of rallies all over the swing states in the final 30 days. He did that in 2016, did it in 2020. He's doing it now, and undecideds, I think they tend to fall in line with Trump because they favor his policies. They trust him far more in the economy. They trust him more with jobs, with inflation, on immigration, the southern border, often by double digits. So with his campaign climaxing in massive voter registrations at the rallies, along with the undecideds moving in his favor, he should be building on this momentum, which should propel him over the finish line in November. Again, we cannot be complacent. I have to temper all of our enthusiasm with a little dose of, some very healthy skepticism and pessimism. Anything can happen in these next 30 days, less than, and you never know what antics the Democrats are going to try to stoop to. So make sure to get out there and vote. Register another 5 voters in swing states. Get them to send in their ballots or make sure they're showing up on Election Day. And let's make this Reagan-like landslide a reality.